Brother, my brother, my big brother, he 8 years older than me. He so we had, you had the turntables, and we didn't have money for techniques and all that, so it would just be the basic turntable. And my mom always say, no scratching, don't be messing my turntable up. And so my brother bought this record home called, it was by a group called Whistle. And blah, 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 blah. And he was in, so he brought that home. I was like, what is this? And we just kept playing and playing it. And then my brother used to draw little pictures and stuff. And he drew this little circle of a person's face and with a little afro on it and some headphones. And he drew another one with I guess, like a little microphone. And I remember him saying, that's the DJ. They play the records. And that's the MC, and they rap. And you gonna rap, and I'm gonna play the records. And that's how I started writing raps. And for my brother telling me, that's your job.
Thanksgiving 1995, DJ Premier spin on 97, that was the day. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do, period. I went home, I took my father's turntable, whatever records I could find, just messed around scratching all that. I started collecting vinyl. It was nonstop from there. Like every cent I would make would go to vinyl and equipment. I started working early. I started working at a bike shop when I was 13. By the time I was 15, I was working at McDonald's. And I worked at Friendly's, I worked at a postal center, and every cent I made.
When I first heard Sucker MCs, Run DMC, I kind of was thinking I could do it, but I was already buying records, so I tried to DJ first. I pretty much did everything in hip hop. I've done all cultures. I sucked at graffiti. I stopped that in like a week. DJing, I can still DJ. I'm no DJ Jazzy Jeff or Kid Capri or nothing, but I can still hold my own on the turntables. Like I said, try graffiti, but MCing, maybe around the 9th grade, I wrote my first rap. I wrote a song called Maybe, Maybe Not, and I realized that when I rapped, I got a response.
It was a no-brainer, it was a no-brainer. I think on every block in Philadelphia, somebody DJ'd and somebody rapped. It was just, that's what you did. Nobody ever thought that they were gonna do it professionally. It was kind of like, to me, hip hop was like basketball. Everybody played basketball. Not everybody's going to the pros.
When I was in college and my mom was paying money and I'm in college in class writing raps and I had to tell my mom, I said, yo, Mom, look, I can't go to school. I want to rap. That's when she put that money up for that SP1200. And I dropped out of school and I just went full steam for that and it worked out. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here. I'm alive. You know what I mean?
I want to say since I saw MC Lyte's Poor George video, like that feeling never left me. I didn't try it until I got to college, but I held it in. But no matter what I did, that was always what I came back to, that passion at hip hop. I don't feel this way or have any type of feeling about any other thing but hip hop that I want to do for the rest of my life. It's not like a job, it's just fun, like the culture of it. So, when I wrote and recorded my first 2 songs and Ninth heard him, he was like, you have a lot of potential, you just need to work on A, B, and C. That was just the push I needed, that, just try it. You don't want to be 50 years old and regret not trying it. Like, that's something you love. So, when I saw MC Lyte's Poor George video, I think that's when I knew, like, I wanna do this. I have to do this. Like, and that feeling just grew stronger and stronger until you couldn't hold it in no more. You just had to do it.
You know what I didn't know? I was trying to explain this the other day to someone, like, it's never been a conscious thing. This is just what I do. Like, when LL came out, I would put my name into it, you know what I mean? Eazy-E, I'll put my name in. Like, we had a little skateboard crew, and we had beef with these other boys called the Boys of Santa Cruz, and it was like, the Boys of Santa Cruz, and we just put their name and shit, and we'd be rapping.
The first time when I really knew, like, okay, like, I'm actually alright, it was Lord Tariq was on my block, and this was the time when they had, him and Peter Guns had Uptown Baby, and he was on my block just like spitting for all of us, you know what I'm saying? And it was like 30 people, 30, 40 people on the block. And then I came up, young kid, I'm like 15 at the time. And then I stepped to him and spit. Then he spit, then I spit. Then he spit, then I spit. Then it was like, yo, you shorty, you all right. And ever since then, we just been cool, you know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of been like a big brother in the game, and just, you know, like we talk here and there. When we see each other, it's all love, and we always remember that. Like, damn, like I remember when you was a shorty and you keeping it going from here, you know what I'm saying? So that was the first time I knew I had it, because nobody said I was whack.
I didn't know that until I was in my first rap battle. When I was in my first battle, where I really felt like, you know, I heard that first ooh from the crowd and like really found my whole zone, that's when I knew like this is in me, you know what I'm saying? This is not something I'm just trying to do. This is like who I am. And this is how the world will really respond to me, is by me, you know what I'm saying, using this gift to talk to the world, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I felt my purpose in life at.
I was around 12 years old, and a brother by the name of DJ O'Reilly, which was a really influential person in my life, he was working with my favorite artists from my hometown, like the artists whose careers had blossomed way before mine did. And brothers I looked up to, and he would tell me stories about their sessions and how they would come to the studio with bags of rhymes. And he asked me, like, you sure this is what you want to do at 12 years old? And I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And he asked me again, he stopped me and like, yo, really looked at me like, yo, are you sure this is what you want to do? He had a look in his eyes like, yo, this is not for the weak-hearted, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is some serious shit. Are you ready? Are you sure? And I said, yeah, once again, and I never stopped since that day.
Man, I feel like it's something that I always had, like, since a kid. Even in high school, I used to just be like, man, I don't care if I'm going to school, because I'm going to be a rapper. I'm not going to need this. Where I'm going, I'm never going to need this. So I always kind of had that mentality, being that, like, nobody in my family, including my mother, my father, and grandparents, nobody ever graduated even from high school. They were kind of hoping I would at least graduate from high school. So I had a lot of pressure on me from the fam to just try to step it up. But in my heart and in my mind, I just always knew I was going to be a rapper. So I didn't really care too much for school.
It's crazy because my mom and my dad, my real dad, you know, got divorced when I was 2. So I never really knew him, because from that point on until I was 10 years old, I never saw him from 2 to 10. So at 10 years old, I saw him for the very, very like first time, like where I actually remembered him. And that trip, I went out to LA because my family's from LA. I went out there, and at this time I was like a singer, right? But I also like rapped a little bit because, you know, singing, rapping was really big in like 1995. And he gave me a tape full of beats. I still have the tape to this day. And my dad was really big into music. So he gave me a tape full of beats right before I boarded the plane to come back to Kansas. And he said, here's some stuff to write to. And I went back home, and I probably made a whole album to that little tape. If I could find it, I would just be amazed at what I would probably hear a 10-year-old XV sounded like. And that actually is, I'll always remember that moment, because it was just so pivotal in my life of me saying, I'm going to do this with my life. This is what I want to do.
When somebody emailed and said, you're dope, I don't know you, but you sound dope. Yeah. Kid from San Diego. I don't even remember this kid from San Diego. Because if I didn't know him and he judged my music with no emotion, he just loved my shit. And I was like, damn, that was dope.